Hey guys, Sandy here, and today I am wrapping up my December project. I have completed up to day 21. I think I'm only going to day 25 this year because my album is pretty chunky. I have lots of filler pages, and I have lots of pages that I still have to wrap up, like the back side of this. There's just a few in here that need to be taken care of. So let's see if I can get this bad boy finished. Let's see what I can do. Not sure what happened to the audio on the original video, so let's see how much of this is going to make sense, because I've already recorded this video and for some reason the sound didn't go through, and that just proves to you guys that I really don't listen or watch my own videos after I'm finished with them. I just kind of make sure the sound isn't crazy loud or crazy soft when I'm like making the volume go from the introduction to the voiceover, and as long as the sound is similar, I'm like, good job, save the video, upload the video. So I don't know what happened to the sound, because that is part of my process, like making sure that the sounds aren't too far off. Who knows, who knows, who knows. Okay, so with this one, this is day 22, and I am using a cut file from the Confessions of a Paper Addict cut file shop. And I'm just adding some fun little stars to go along with the stars that are already there. And I have the word Christmas over top of the stars. Now I'm trying to figure out, do I add something else to this? Like, what else should this go to? And, you know, that's my thing. I touch my papers and tap my fingers over it, and that helps me think. And then, of course, you know, I'm drinking the iced tea while I'm doing that. So I decide to grab my Faber-Castell Pitt pen, and that is because I cannot find my flippin' black Muji pens to save my soul. So I bought a 10-pack of them recently so that I could handwrite recipes for Christmas presents. I gave my boss and each of my kids a handwritten recipe book for Christmas, and I wanted them to be written in a really nice pen, so I used my Muji pens, and I went through like 9 pens. So I had of the 10 pen pack, and I had 3 Muji pens before, so I should have 4 black Muji pens, and I don't know where they are. They are missing, which makes me kind of sad because that is my favorite pen to write with, but I do get a lot of journaling done with other black pens, and I just deal with it. And, you know, ultimately nobody knows that I didn't write with my favorite pen. All they see is the journaling. And the album is way out in the other room, you guys, so I'm not exactly sure what the journaling even says. I just don't know. Don't remember. So this is going to be a pocket page with 2 3x4s and 1 4x6. And I'm just trying to figure out what I want to go in there. Now this star thing right here came from a 12x12 paper sheet from Paper House Productions. And then I thought that this vellum of Be Merry and Bright looked pretty cool over the top of it, and that was an easy way to make a decorative card with not a lot of hassle, not a lot of futz. And that's, you know, it's okay to do not a lot of hassle and not a lot of futz in the midst of all kinds of more is more type thing. Like, it's totally cool to do that, which is one of the things I did. Not sure why I'm turning this over. Oh, because I was thinking about putting fa la 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 on a card like this. Ultimately, it does not stay like that. It ultimately goes down on the bottom of the layout. So spoiler alert right there. See, it comes right on off. I add the little sticker pocket onto the card. It is not a sticker pocket. It is, it is a sticker pocket, you guys. Like, I just told you it was a sticker pocket, but it's not used as a sticker pocket. It is completely just used as decoration. And at this point in my scrappy life for doing this project, I'm kind of over it. And not over it in the sense of I don't like the project anymore, or I'm tired of doing the project in general, but basically I'm over it in the fact that I want my Christmas stuff out of the way. I want it to come out of this bin, and I want it to come out of my basket so I can put other things in there to pull out and use. I like having supplies within easy reach, which is what my goal is for my entire scrapbooking room. But you have kits that you're using for other videos and such things like that, and it's a pain when they're just kind of like in a pile to work with. So I was like, got to get this finished, Sandy. You have got to get this done so you can put your Christmas stuff away. And it happened. Oh, so happy it happened. Okay, so this is just a wood veneer star that has some gold paint on it, and I put it with the, what is that thing called? A glitter circle. Yeah. Thoughts are a struggle today. Yeah. So we put fa la 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 down here on the bottom of the card. And on this card, I do know that I talk about Christmas music and how we love Christmas music in this house. And as soon as the Christmas music comes on the radio station where it does all Christmas music all the time, we are just ecstatic, and that is what we listen to whenever we're in the car. And we also blast the Trans-Siberian Orchestra at home, because even though it isn't like traditional Christmas music, it is a huge part of our own personal Christmas traditions. And if you haven't heard of Trans-Siberian Orchestra and you are kind of like into, I would consider it like rocky Christmas, like not rocky, hey, 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 Adrian, like rocky, rock and roll Christmas, you should definitely give it a listen. Actually, just give it a listen. Just give it a listen. Yeah. So I am adding some little bits and bobs up here, and then of course I am washi taping the back of the card, because even though it is a card and it is not a scrapbook layout, it has things poking through its back and they need to be covered up. So now this is where I'm talking about all the music and how much we just love it. We actually play blah, blah, blah. Can't even speak. We actually play TSO, or Trans-Siberian Orchestra, while we decorate for Christmas. And we just put it on repeat because it takes longer to decorate for Christmas than it does listening to one of the CDs. So now they're on, our phones and everything, and we have them digitally, but we used to just put it in a CD player and hit repeat to make it happen. And it turned out to eventually where we didn't have a CD player, except for a strawberry shortcake CD player that the girls had when they were really little, and that's what we played our TSO on at Christmas time. So that was a fun thing. I need to document that story because that just gave me a huge smile, and I just love that. So here is the kind of sparkly card, and I am partnering that up with a buffalo check plaid from Brutus Monroe, and I am just putting a line in the middle so I can make a banner piece here. And then I'm going to layer the little sparkly bit on top of that and trim off the extra. Now, I don't exactly remember what I even do with this part of the layout. Now, I did lose the stamp. This, I am devastated. I am sure it is stuck to something somewhere, but it wasn't with any of my Christmas stuff. And it's not on a stamping block, and it is somewhere. I mean, obviously it's somewhere, but I really hope to find it while I straighten up this mess, because I keep saying I'm going to do a room tour, and every time I get the room into a nice semblance of being put together where I could walk somebody through and show, I end up pulling out all the things because there's just so many fun things to play with. So I do stamp on that. I use that big puffy gold and red present to just document it a little bit, adding some journaling with my white Uniball Signo gel pen. And this day, the pen was giving me a little bit of a fit, which kind of pissed me off, but things happen and it is what it is. It might be time to buy a new gel pen, because I find that if they are just hanging out for a long time and you don't use them, then they kind of get clumpy on the inside. So who knows? So we go ahead and get that bad boy in there. And I'm thinking that is going to do it for those pages. And I have to figure out what is coming next. So I grab another page protector. And I really like the Merry and Bright, but I'm like, nope, we're not going to do that. I can't think about what I'm going to do. I can't do another page protector right now. So I am going to go back to the beginning of the album where my title page is. And I didn't worry about the back side of the title page at that moment. I was like, I'll figure that out later. I cut out this Heidi Swap Winter Wonderland paper, and I'm just using a lot of ATG to make sure that it sticks, because this is a page that is not going into a page protector, so I want to make sure that it is as sturdy as possible. So there was a lot of ATG down there and a lot of ATG around the edges. Now I have this little checklist thing here, and some of the checklists items are things that we won't be able to do with where we live. There is something snowy in this one, like go play in the snow or go sleigh riding or something. Go sledding. And that's not going to happen where we live. We just don't get snow here. And I'm okay with that, you guys. Like that's a good thing for me. I'm not a fan of the snow. I'm not a fan of the cold. I just don't like it. If I had my choice, I would, for living arrangements, I would not be in a landlocked state. I need some water close by. And I also would live in a climate that had no snow, because while I love to look at snow and I think it's beautiful, and I don't mind going off into a cabin and having snow outside and the fireplace and a hot tub, like that's my kind of snowy jam. I don't want it in my everyday life. I just don't. Like I'm not a fan. Okay, just not a fan. So I layer up some bits and pieces. I'm just layering up stickers and die cuts and some acrylic hearts. And I'm going to put some puffy stickers on here as well. I'm just trying to give it a little bit of excitement, because I don't want you to look at this page and be like, oh, it's checklist. You never checked anything off on. No, I want you to look at the page and be like, oh, lots of fun little Christmassy bits, and then keep going. That is what I want you to do. My philosophy for my Christmas album is a lot different than, maybe not. I feel like it is, but probably if I talk it out, it's probably not going to be very different. But my philosophy for my Christmas album is sometimes it's just fun to put pretty stuff on a page. And Christmas is my favorite holiday. It's my favorite time of year. I just love Christmas. I love decorating. I love trees. I love the music. I love the cheesy movies. I just love the whole feeling that happens at Christmas time. And as you guys know, I struggled a lot this year with that, with the first year of having a kid not at home. That's definitely like a heart-wrenching moment, you guys. The first time your kid is not at home, like it's tough. It's really tough. So, I'm okay if there's just pretty things in this album, because it makes me happy, and it is my album, and I can do with it whatever I want because it is my album. So, we get into these moments where we're like, oh, that's not how I would do it, or, oh, that's not the right way. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's my album. It's the right way. Your album, it's the right way. Her album, it's the right way. His album, it's the right way. You can't tell someone how to scrapbook. You can give them the basics and the tools and say, you should have some sort of something. You need a book. You need a book, whether it's a notebook, a composition book, an album, a post bound, 3-ring strap hinge, a traveler's notebook, 6x8, whatever. You need something. You need something to put, to do. You need something. Well, you know what? There are some scrapbookers that just have piles of layouts, and yes, I will judge you. Put those layouts in an album. Just put them in there. Okay. But really, it's like however you want to do it, you do it. If you want all journaling and photo and like no pretty bits, then don't. If you want all pretty bits in a tiny photo, then do it. Like do whatever the heck you want to get your memories down, to get your creative outlet going. Like whatever you want, just do it. Okay? Just do it. So now I am building another 6x8 layout, and I have built up some washi tape and stickers on this plaid paper. I am a huge fan of plaid, and I am a huge fan of sparkly washi tape. I actually recently went through my washi tape and kind of reorganized it just because it wasn't really working how I had it organized. I have it organized by color because when I think I want washi tape, I think of color, except for my sparkly bits, because then I'm like, oh, I want sparkly washi tape. But there were too many shoved together in one place, and it was just so much in one place that I just couldn't deal with it. So I have recently spread out the washi tape a little bit, and I'm using it much more, which makes me happy. So here we go. I am pulling out some black and white twine. I am tying a couple little bows and putting them right on the tags. Now I really do love glue dots for putting bows on layouts and projects. It just holds it really nicely. And glue dots come in a bunch of different sizes. So if you have a thicker, heavier bow, you can use a bigger glue dot. If you have a tiny bow, you can use a tiny glue dot. It's just something I really, really enjoy. And now it is time to get this wrapped up. Now there might not be process video parts for every single little bit of wrap up that I did. I seem to remember my iPad kind of running out of space because I was just creating and wasn't getting in there and editing and saving and moving things around. So that might have happened. And if it does, I'm sorry, but you can see it kind of here, and then I'll have a flip through later this week. Right now I am adding some little holly berries, and these are glittery, and it has celebrate at the top, and then I'm just going to do a whole bunch of journaling in the white journaling. And in this journaling, I remember I'm talking about the photo right here, which has 4 stockings under the Christmas tree instead of 5, which, like I just told you guys, it's a heart-wrenching moment. And I thought it would be more difficult to have all of his things under the tree on Christmas morning than to put them under afterwards. So the stocking went under the tree afterwards when he came home about a month later. And yes, we did keep Christmas up until he came home at his request. So Christmas was up a very long time in our house this year. While there were some presents under the tree for him, the stocking and everything else didn't come out till later. And I think that made it a little bit easier as to it's not like they're blaring in your face, like, here's my stocking and I'm not here kind of thing. So I have this photo, and it is me holding my Disney sock advent. And it might seem weird that I'm going to end with this because I started my sock advent at the beginning of the year, but I want it to end on something lighthearted and fun because I do get pretty heavy in the sad feels at the end there with talking about Alex and the stocking. So there it is, you guys. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.